Primary elections wrapping up across 6 states this week, and Democratic Socialist candidates are not faring as well as the polls said. In Wisconsin, Francesca Hong losing the state's gubernatorial primary, while progressive Abdul El Sayed only narrowly winning Michigan's Democratic Senate primary. Far-left progressive Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, meanwhile, cannot even believe that Hong lost, blaming older voters, whining about it, saying this: the knives will be out in future races. Piker campaigned with Hong and with El Sayed. Joining me now is the 50th Speaker of the House, former Georgia Congressman and Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. Newt, good morning. It's always great to speak with you. And, I think, you've called these socialist values off-putting, to say the least. But these messages are resonating with these younger voters. What's your take on this?
Well, let me say, first of all, that when even Bernie Sanders and AOC refused to endorse Hong, it may have been a sign that even by their standard, she was too crazy to be allowed to be the nominee, because she would have defined the Democratic Party in the entire upper Midwest. Having said that, I think you're in a period where younger people who've been going through schools that have taught them that socialism is good, constant effort to convince them that socialism somehow is nice and pleasant and positive. You have a real sense, I think, that the economy has failed. There's a very high percentage of young people who are still living with their parents, cannot afford to go buy a house. You also have the fact that we graduated several million people who took degrees for which there are no jobs. So you go to Yale or Harvard or Princeton, Columbia, you get this great degree, you go out on the street and you find out you'll earn about the same amount if you are working, for Amazon, as in whatever profession you've chosen. So there's a great sense that the contract they thought they had with the country isn't working. Now, the problem they have is that big government socialism doesn't work. It doesn't work in Cuba. It didn't work in the Soviet Union. We know of no place where, in fact, it has successfully worked. Furthermore, the weird values that are attached to it. I run a project called America's New Majority Project, and we've been doing polling since 2018. The number of Democrats who are committed to 10, 15, 20% issues is just astonishing. And I mean, the easiest one is whether or not men should be in women's sports and in women's locker rooms. The country's pretty decisive on that. The Democratic Party is very confused about it.
Absolutely.
So that's the sort of thing where I think in a general election, they're going to have a very hard time.
And maybe that is why, to your point, Bernie Sanders and AOC did not get behind a Francesca Hong, because they knew that in the general there was going to be an issue. Absolutely. Newt, House and Senate Republicans have centered some midterm messaging around affordability, the tax cuts, the big, beautiful bill, all part of the president's agenda. What are you hearing ahead of the midterms right now? What do you think should be top of mind for the Republicans in order to keep the House and the Senate?
Look, I think it's a very simple election. If this is about two teams, and which team do you trust to create a better future, the Republicans are going to win by a big margin, because the Democratic team, just as with George McGovern or Michael Dukakis, or Walter Mondale, or what we did in '94 with the contract with America. Once it's a team sport, the Democrats are going to disintegrate because they can't defend themselves. And you take their issue positions, and they are not acceptable to most Americans. But the challenge for Republicans is, first of all, to tell the story. I mean, how many families now have a $1,000 savings account for their child because of Donald Trump? How many people who work for tips are not paying taxes because of the Republicans? How many people who are in Social Security are no longer paying taxes because of the Republicans? Republicans have to do a much better job of communicating the hundreds of things they've already done that have improved the lives of people. And we have to keep working on affordability. In my judgment, that means you have to work on health care, because health care is the biggest single component of affordability. A family of four today, on average, is buying the equivalent of a small car every year just to pay for health insurance. So if you really want to affect affordability, fix the health system, provide for transparency in cost and quality, allow the people to go where the quality is. You'll take an immense amount of cost out, and life will become dramatically more affordable.
Healthcare, and I'll add housing to that, Newt. I do want to ask you this before you go. Senate Budget Committee Chair Ron Johnson, he joined me on the program yesterday on whether or not the Senate can pass his budget blueprint ahead of the midterms. This includes tens of billions of dollars in spending for the military, farm programs, and election integrity measures. Here's what Johnson said to me yesterday. I want you to listen.
Before the midterms would be difficult, we decided collectively between the president, senators and House members, let's work on a far better reconciliation bill than the skinny one that we brought to us that had no pay for us. And President Trump and his team, let's do a far better job of providing the support the finest among us deserve in the military, but also do whatever we can using reconciliation to pass some election integrity. The reason we didn't pass the Save America Act isn't because of Republicans, it's because Democrats refuse to vote for any election integrity measure because they want to make it easy to cheat. Go figure.
You know, Newt, Congress is now poised for this post-recess scramble for the month of September. If Democrats win control of Congress in November, they could delay, block, basically kill the president's agenda. It would be impeachment hearings for 2 years.
Look, I think this is the most important off-year election in my lifetime. The difference between having a Republican majority that wants to work on problems and having a Democratic majority that wants to impeach the president, impeach the cabinet, block everything. The difference for America's future between those two approaches is enormous. And that's why we have to communicate that this is a team sport. One team wants to actually solve problems. The other team wants to screw up the country in order to defeat Donald Trump. I think most Americans will regard it as pretty unpatriotic to having screw up the country as your major goal.
Well, Newt Gingrich, your voice is so important as we move into November and for the future of the country. It's always great to have you on the program. Newt Gingrich, thank you for being here.